Hello, welcome pen friends. This video is not quite turning out the way I expected it would, but let me explain what's happened so far. What I wanted to do was bring you along while I cleaned out and changed the ink, or refilled the ink in my Pilot Varsity. My black one ran out of ink. So what happened is I got all set up and I started, the same way I did with my purple one, and the nib came off, which didn't happen with the other one. The purple one, the whole nib and feed section came out as one, and it was really interesting. But once the nib came off, then it was harder to grip it. So I ended up using this little lobster band over the section just to protect it. And it was still in the pen, of course, and I did it side to side the same way that I did with the other pen when well, I'm going to be all dirty, but that's okay. So this is how I gripped it to get it out, basically. I'm not going to put it back in there because, wow, that was quite a pop when it did come out. But I'm holding it side to side with the section pliers, and that's how I got it out. So right now, you're kind of joining me in progress, and I have to clean everything because I got black ink on everything, the band, and of course the nib was dirty. And I've got a little collector down there in the bottom of my sink. Okay, so the whole bottom part is like it's eyedroppered, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that. Whoops. Ooh, but it was completely dry in terms of writing. I wasn't getting any more ink. And it was really funny how that was just a few days after the purple one went. So I'm going to use a little ink syringe to make sure that that's cleaned out. Just kind of force some ink in, and yeah, it looks like it's nice and clean now. But just in case, I'll go ahead and... Yeah, that's nice and clean now, so that should be fine. Okay, and I've even got some swabs here. That's as far as the Q-tip goes down. So as you can see, that it only fills about that far. So I can just kind of dry that out a little extra for us. It's not necessary, but... There we go. Okay, so the last piece is this section, which is extremely dirty. I'm going to go ahead and rinse that. I think this will still be worth it because when I put it back in, I can show you how I grip it. And I'm going to put the nib on and push it in, and you'll hear that pop. It's really quite tight. And with my wrist and elbow the way it is right now, it just wasn't possible to do the whole thing on camera. That's too bad. I was hoping it would be, but... Not quite. Okay, I'm going to rinse that again because that's not real clean. I had really good luck with the purple one. And so I'm really excited because I'm going to go ahead and put Noodler's Heart of Darkness in this one. And the black one, and we'll be all set. Okay. To get a little... I guess I didn't think this through too much because I didn't get enough paper towel. Here's... Oh no, that's a tissue. Okay. Just wanting to make sure that it's basically clean. I'm still going to run black ink in there, so it's not going to matter a whole lot. Okay, I forgot to tell you about wearing an apron. I'm doing that because black ink can get all over everything, and it's just better not to ruin any more clothes. Okay, so I'm going to put the nib on. It's funny, but the whole piece came out real easily last time without the nib sliding off. So I wasn't quite expecting that, but it was neat though to learn that this was another way of giving me more traction on it and being able to get that to work. Okay, so now I'm ready to fill it up, and then we'll put the section back in. Okay, now I've got to remember not to overfill it because we don't want to get the ink up further than here. And I believe it's 2.5 mils, but let's see what we come up with here. I think just as long as I don't overfill it, it won't make a hideous mess. My gigantic Noodler's Heart of Darkness bottle doesn't come out as much. I use this one to fill everything from. That should be the right amount, but let's just go ahead and put that in there and see how it does. Okay. I think I'm just going to go right to the edge of the pen there where it changes. I really don't want to mess. I mean, you know, I know what I'm capable of mess-wise, and I hate to see it get any worse. Okay, so it just goes back in, and it's extremely tight. So I put it in there by hand, but then I do need the tool to get it in there all the way, and I'm going to try to be really quiet so you can hear the pop when it gets in there the correct way. I didn't use that before, so let's try to just do it the way I did before. Okay. I get hold of it like this. Let me make sure I'm showing you. So I get hold of it side to side, and then I'm going to try to be quiet. Did you hear that? It just went popped right in. So then we're good. Now it's probably going to have to be a bit before it will write, but so I will pause it and I'll be back with you in just a moment. There, I'm back. Used a little bit of paper towel just to kind of dot the nib on and just encourage it, and it's writing really good now, so it's time to log it into my currently inked here. Let's see, where am I at? Right here, Pilot Varsity. I think I'm really going to like this with the medium nib and Noodler's Heart of Darkness. I really like these pens. They're just like $3 pens, but to be able to refill them like that and have, I think it's like 2 or 2.5 mils of ink. So today is 2/26/2020. I guess I don't have to do a swatch, but I usually do anyway. Just so that I know, whoops, hopefully I'm not knocking over the entire camera, what I got in there. And then we'll just put that aside and let it dry. So I'm really happy because now I've got the pen again. I write with these in my little food diary and just little note taking. And so when it ran out, I was just shocked because I thought this one had more. I thought I'd use more of the purple, but apparently I had already used most of this up too. So I'm really pleased. I got the ink flowing really good. And of course, you always take a risk when you take tools to a pen like this, but being that it's just a $3 pen, don't be afraid to try it. And I'm sorry that I couldn't show the whole pulling of the nib section on camera, but it really was easier when I combined the use of the lobster band and the section pliers. And I had to, because once I got the nib off, there was nothing really protecting the feed, so I needed to use a little bit more, I thought, in there, and that really did the trick. But with my elbow the way it is, I was afraid I was going to hit something with it. It's really almost impossible to do in front of the camera. But you saw how it went back in. It took quite a bit of force to get it to pop back in, but then now it's good to go for a very long time. I believe I had this pen for 3 years. Of course, I've used it more lately. So I'm really happy with it. I was going to try a different ink, but I really didn't have enough of any black ink to really fill that barrel. So I decided to stick with the tried and true Noodler's Heart of Darkness. I hope this was a little bit useful to you. Mostly I'm just trying to encourage you. If I could do this, anybody could, because it does take a lot of, pull, but at the same time, if you get the right tools, if you get some things to help you get a hold of it, you'll be able to do it. Because I've got that problem with my hand and everything, my arm, but I was still able to get the job done. And now I'll be able to write with this longer. So thank you, and let me know in the comments if you have done this, if you've had a successful refill on your Pilot Varsity. I just find it so satisfying. I know that you know, it might be a little easier with, say, the Platinum Preppies, and I love those too, but these are really good writers for note-taking and throwing, literally throwing into your purse and bags. They're not going to come apart. It's so hard to get them apart to begin with that I'm really confident with these pens. So, I'll see you next time, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. Stay inky.